Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Coffee with Jeff and Bedros show. This is episode number 9. I'm here with Bedros. How's everything going, man?
Good, man.
What's been new? And
we always start these damn things so awkwardly, right? It's like a Model T, like but then we get going and we're good. We're good.
I think it's the no countdown on Facebook Live anymore. That's just like
Oh, they did away with the countdown.
They did.
Okay.
So it kind of throws you off. I'm used to the 3, 2, 1, go. It's just like
weird.
go. Like what now?
Huh. All right. Yeah, man. Things are rocking and rolling. Things are fan. So we're dealing with like a major heat storm right now in Southern California, right?
I think it was 106 yesterday.
Yeah, 106 yesterday. It's supposed to be hot today, tomorrow, the next day, like Sunday's supposed to cool off. Yeah.
All hundreds.
Yeah, so if you're coming out to Southern California, just be prepared for some serious dry heat. But in my world, some exciting news. Kelly Sullins came to the headquarters. There's a picture there right behind us.
A unicorn from last week.
Yeah, our unicorn from last week. And she came to the headquarters because we're doing something different with our franchise. In the spirit of still staying as the anti-franchise franchise with Fit Body Bootcamp, we decided that we're going to have many of our actual Fit Body Bootcamp owners in our franchisee videos, meaning if someone's interested in becoming a franchisee, rather than a webinar with me talking about the benefits of owning a Fit Body Bootcamp or whatever, why don't you just hear it from the horse's mouth or the unicorn's mouth in this particular case. So we've got her, Bryce, and a few other Fit Body Bootcamp owners that came out and did this for us, so it was pretty fun.
Nice.
Yeah, and then
That's a new sign, huh?
yeah, that's a new sign. It's a full-on lit-up sign, and you see the studs right behind it, the wooden boards. That is going to be covered with leather. So we're gonna yeah.
That's in the waiting area upstairs when you come up the elevator.
in that lobby. Yeah, yeah. So I'm trying to make this look as much like a Las Vegas casino as possible. And then
when you're installing the craps table, and I'm there.
Dude, check this out. Genesis, one of our graphic guys, he went to school to be a car dealer. Like he's got a full-on whatever certificate, license, whatever the process is, to be like a poker and blackjack dealer. And so I'm thinking we're gonna have to have a kind of a casino night, right, at the HQ.
Yeah.
So we'll all
pretty
get
cool.
dressed up. It'll be a really fun thing. Yeah. So we'll do that.
Four.
Yeah, yeah. I'll bring the roofies. Yeah. Strike that. Yeah, yeah. Oh, and then Scott Welch, who is a heavyweight pro boxer, that guy there. He's got hands that look like mittens. Yeah. I mean he's just a strong puncher, and he was actually in the movie Snatch and played opposite Brad Pitt. If you,
Hey, looks,
yeah, he's the guy who punched Brad Pitt and Brad Pitt went flying. He's that guy in the movie, but he's a pro heavyweight boxer. He's retired now, and he's the chairman of the WBC CARES program, the World Boxing Council CARES program, where they want to make sure that when people are going to boxing rings, amateurs and are fighting, they don't end up having their faces rearranged. I'm working with him in a program called the Safer Boxing Program that they're launching, so I'm really happy to be working with him, and he's just a really down-to-earth, awesome dude. What about you?
nice. Well, speaking of boxing, there was that fight this weekend.
The fight.
I'm pretty sure everyone saw it. What did you think about the fight?
Dude, I'm seeing a lot of things on like social media that it was horrible, a waste of money, whatever. They went, 10 rounds, right? A dude who's not fought in a boxing ring.
0-0.
Yeah, 0-0, went into the ring, fought 10 rounds, and I believe had he run 1,000 miles a day like Mayweather did, he would have had the conditioning. But I think it was a wonderful fight. I think they did fantastic. I think they were both champions about it. And I don't know why people are pissing and moaning. What about you? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think he did way better than anybody gave him credit for.
Yeah.
I mean, in MMA, the longest he could go, he's only gone, I think, twice, or maybe only once, 5 rounds at 5 minutes, 25 minutes. So he made it 27 minutes plus in the boxing ring. So he was already going into uncharted territories as far as conditioning goes. But those first 3 rounds, he definitely won. And a lot of people are saying that Mayweather, gave him those rounds just to kind of feel him out and stuff. But Holly Holm, she's a boxer and also a UFC fighter now. She made a good point that nobody's going to let you hit him. So the hits that he got were legitimate. That counter uppercut was really good.
Yeah.
So he had like 10 to 12 like really good like power punches that a lot of the pundits said he wouldn't touch Mayweather. And overall, he had like 111, which is like more than almost anybody else he's fought. 111 landed punches. Yeah. So you have to give him some credit just for having the audacity to get in the ring with somebody like never boxing professionally and getting in with the best in our in our lifetime, pretty much.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the man had a 49-0 record previous to this. Now Mayweather's retiring with a 50-0 record. Like that is nuts.
Yeah.
That is nuts. Good for him. They were both champion fighters as far as I'm concerned. Yeah.
So the other thing that we did, we went down and checked out some new locations in South Orange County. We're considering moving the Tech Sweat HQ.
Yeah,
So,
London's happy.
Beach City.
Beaches.
I'm commuting 3 to 4 times a week anyway to surf, so I figured, might as well just go ahead and move the HQ down there.
Yeah, right on the water there. In fact, there's.
In the cave.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean that one. Yeah. I mean that one.
We'll be about 10 minutes. Where we're looking is about 10 minutes from the beach, but it'll still be fun.
Oh, that'll be fantastic.
And I think London and Mike have already made plans to move down there, so
Yeah,
don't have to.
relocate.
worry about the
Awesome.
commute or
Good for you,
anything.
London.
Now we just got to talk Jackie into going. And we're good
She's
to go.
shaking her head no.
She would go. It's not her.
Yeah. There we go.
And, cool. So yesterday we got some exciting mail, and we were inducted into the ClickFunnels 2 Comma Club, not
Look
the
at that.
quotation mark club, but the 2 Comma Club. For
What is a
Fitness
2 Comma Club for our friends who don't know?
That means that
I'll hold it while you describe it.
through our agency, Fitness Marketer, we have sold more than 7 figures worth of ClickFunnels templates and services. So we were awarded with the 2 Comma Club, which is the 7-figure club for ClickFunnels. So.
Yeah, hence the 2 Comma Club. Dude, did you hear that Russell Brunson is making a viral video using the same dudes who
Yeah,
use
like the
the
blow up
squad?
soccer game or something
Yeah.
they're going to do. Like
Yeah.
a lot of like the top Instagram influencers he's been inviting out. Is it Idaho?
Yeah. So myself and Andrew, my son, are going to go because he invited
Put the big blow up suit on and knock people around.
Yeah, he invited us, and the plan is apparently to set the Guinness Book of World Record for the largest bubble soccer tournament.
Nice.
Yeah, and so the Idaho whatever football team that's
yeah,
out
you're
there.
gonna play on the Smurf field.
Yeah, the Smurf field, exactly.
football
Yeah,
field.
yeah. So I was talking to Russell yesterday, and I was like, dude, my son and I do our monthly boys trips, and it falls on that day. But then when my son heard that it's to set the world record, and like I guess all young boys, he reads the Guinness Book of World Record book like every year. He's like, dude, we're gonna have a chance to be in there, Dad. I'm like, yeah. He goes, let's just cancel our boys trip and go out there. So I called Russell. I was like, hey, we're in. Count us in. So
Nice.
so it'll be fun. Yeah.
Awesome. So this Thursday, Friday, we have our implementation bootcamp at the new HQ. So that's exciting. We've had a lot of people that have reached out to us. This is like our 7th one, I think we're done, maybe 8th, wanting us to put it online. And the whole time we're like, no. But there's been so many people that have wanted us to do that we finally decided to take the IBC online. So in about 3 weeks, maybe a month, it'll be live. And the first group of people that we take through are probably going to limit it to about 20. So if that's something that you're interested in our implementation bootcamp, if you considered coming out to California, hanging out with us, but for whatever reason, the dates didn't work out, and you wanted to attend our first group of online, clients, then just send me a message with the keyword IBC. We'll put a messenger button on this post after the live is over. Make sure that you're sending it to my fan page and not my personal one. But just use the keyword IBC, and we'll put you on that early bird notification, and we'll get you in for the first class of our IBC online group.
By the way, for those of you who don't know what the IBC is, it's the Implementation Bootcamp, and it's something we started doing. It's a 2-day workshop. What do we give them? We give them 5 funnels.
Yeah, you get 3 opt-in funnels, 2 low barrier offer funnels.
Yeah, so you get 3 opt-in funnels and 2 low barrier funnels that you can use on Facebook. And on that weekend, we literally help you set it up and activate your best funnels. And so you literally start getting leads that weekend that you're there with us.
Yeah, we set up the ads, the images, the ad copy, everything.
Yeah.
So you're literally getting opt-ins and actual customers before you even leave.
And so the first time ever, we decided that we're going to actually film this whole thing, this workshop. So up to this point, we've done, like you said, 7 of them. We decided that we're actually going to film this one and make it a product so that you don't even have to come out to Southern California with us. You could actually get the product and literally go through a 2-day course in person and have your funnels already set up and getting you traffic and getting you leads and clients. And so that's going to be a really cool thing. But we are only taking 20 people on board. And so the fastest way to get to the front of the line is to send the letters IBC to Jeff Sherman using his personal account. No, I'm kidding. Using his fan page account. and London's going to work some internet magic to make that happen. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be forwarding all those personal direct messages.
And also any kind of nude pictures you can send to Jeff Sherman as well. Feel free to send that over to him as well.
I'll be forwarding the ones that aren't very good to you.
Yeah, if anything shaped like an eggplant, just forward them over to me. Yeah, I'm building my repertoire of eggplant pictures in here. Yeah.
Awesome. So in recent news, Google is in the Supreme Court, and they are fighting for their trademark. They're saying that the word Google is too generic now for the meaning of searching the internet. So whether you're searching on Yahoo or Bing, you're not searching on Yahoo, you're Googling. And they are at risk of losing their trademark.
London, can you Google that?
I'll Bedros that.
But you were telling me earlier that a couple other companies fell for that, right?
Yeah, so words like teleprompter, thermos, Hoover, you were saying with Hoover in Canada, that's a generic.
I learned this from cable in Canada. Check us out in Canada. If you're going to say I'm going to vacuum my house today, you're going to say I'm going to Hoover my house, even if you're using like a different brand of vacuums. And so that's how famous the Hoover brand has gotten, or in this case, Google or Kleenex or Thermos. But what is the term for this when this happens?
They call it genericide.
Genericide. There's all types of twisted jokes that could happen here. London, don't you say a doggone thing. Don't you say a doggone thing. We'll have to censor you.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me that you take a word that never existed, make it so popular that you lose the trademark, and it's all because of your own doing. But some of the names that were trademarked in the past, like teleprompter, thermos, Hoover, aspirin, and videotape, it's kind of crazy. I would never have thought some of those were trademarked at one point. But
wow, videotape was
no kidding. Was trademarked.
But Google, I mean, think about that. I mean, I hope Google wins this one. I'm not typically for the big giant corporation, but in this particular case, I think Google needs to retain their name and their trademark. Holy cow!
They've already won at the lower court, but now it's made its way to the Supreme Court.
Yeah. Hey, how's your ADHD?
Lately, it's not been that great.
No.
You know,
that was my horrible way of a segue. Yeah, this whole thing is like a fucking Ford Model T today. I'm just fucking it up. It's all me. Yeah. Hey, how's your ADHD?
Not great. Kaiser doesn't make it very easy for people with ADHD to get their medication.
What?
So
how am I going to get my medication if you can't get your medication?
You have to call into the pharmacy, who calls into your doctor. You have to wait for the doctor to approve it, send it back to the pharmacy. You have to keep calling the pharmacy. They won't call you to tell you when it's ready. So you have to call them multiple times. And then when it is finally ready, then you have to go in and pick it up. They can't mail it to you. So that's like 5 phone calls. If I forget 3 days in a row, 5 times, that's 3 weeks without it. And it's not any fun.
Right.
But as an entrepreneur, you know, on entrepreneur.com, there was a article on how embracing your ADHD can make you a better entrepreneur. And I think ADHD in general made me an entrepreneur, because I don't think I could actually work for anyone. I probably ended up getting fired. So not only did it help me make me a better entrepreneur, I think it made me an entrepreneur.
You know, that's really cool. I mean, you think about all the people who have ADHD, ADD, OCD, all types of like weird lock-on dyslexia, lock-on behavior is what I call it. Like, I will lock on to something and I will not get off of it until I cross the finish line with it. And I think that is, while a lot of people try and medicate us, the reality is that I think we are the tip of the spear where entrepreneurs are concerned. So kudos to us. We just need our fucking ADD drugs now.
Right? When I first met Jessica, I was drinking like 3 quad espressos a day.
Good Lord, man.
So I was like self-medicating, and she's the one that brought it to my attention. Like, I think you're self-medicating for like ADHD. I think you need to go get checked out.
Helps to have a wife who's a doctor. And it's like, I think you can replace 19 coffees with 1 Adderall
It's much
pill.
cheaper.
Yeah.
It's much more affordable.
Yeah. Well, you know my address when you get those Adderall pills, because I suffer from ADD as well.
But according to the article, it's saying that people with ADHD have about 10,000 ideas a day.
Damn.
And if only a couple of them are any good, you could have the next $1 million, multi-million-dollar idea. And I am kind of an ideas guy, so maybe there is some truth to that. But then they're also saying that you shouldn't like force yourself to focus. You should let your mind wander, and that's where you're gonna let your subconscious kind of kick in and get your best ideas and be the most creative.
You know, a few weeks ago when we did this, it was letting my mind wonder that me and Chanta ended up at that particular bar in Laguna Beach. and so I'm not quite sure if letting your mind wander is
But he doesn't have ADHD.
Right? No. He just has
he knew
weird
exactly
compulsions.
where he was going and where he wanted to go.
Yeah, and I don't judge him. Like, hey man, there's a lot of guys wearing tights in there. Let's go in there. Let's go figure it out. Yeah. My goal is to always put Chanta in at least every episode once. Yeah.
And then I think Jessica's the one that sent me this article. There's a new fad for bearded guys, and I'm sure you've already heard of it. I mean, the reason I even grow a beard is because to be more like you. So, like, do you have like this beard jewelry that hipsters are wearing these
I'm
days?
looking at it now, and I'm wondering which one you're going to get, so I can get identical one, and we can be twinsies. Yeah,
I was thinking of the skull with the diamonds for the eyes and the nose, like right in the middle here.
Would it be weird if I got your logo but wore it on my beard?
I got your logo. Wore it on my beard.
Right. Then we can go to that one place in Laguna Beach with Chanta.
I think that you could actually pull this off. I don't think that I could. So I'm gonna let you, test it out first and see what kind of feedback you get.
So I mean, London, I'm sure you've Googled it on Yahoo to find the answer for this. But do you need a long beard, or like could it work on like a shorter beard like what we've got going on here? That's what she said.
As long as your beard hair is thick.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
Again, folks, if you want to file a complaint, send it to Jeff's private message.
Here's one about our size.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. A short one like my size. I like that. Oh, here's a short one, just my size. Perfect. I see it. Jackie, let's move on from this one. What do you say?
So speaking of beards, we have a new game this week. It's Name That Beard game.
God, here we go.
So we've tested your how good you are at nuts, and now we're going to test how good you are at beards.
Yeah, I am the nut king.
And if you are that good at beards, we have a special prize for you.
Wonderful.
So let's.
All right, so what do we do? Do I just look at the screen there?
She's going to flash some beards on the screen, and you're going to name them off as fast as you can.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to also open up Facebook real quick so I can see if any of our friends watching this are going to help me out. Right?
Ask the audience.
Yeah. All right, Regis, I'm ready.
Name that beard.
Who's that?
Oh, okay. It's kind of cheating because, like, I see the uniform. That's King Leonidas, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Too easy. They're going to get maybe a little bit harder.
All right. Oh, shit.
Same facial expression.
Yeah.
Different uniform.
I got so many comments I can make right now. I'm not going to. Do you know who that is?
I know who that is.
You do?
It's one of my favorite movies.
Shit.
Somebody give him a hint.
His wife and kid were murdered.
In the movie or real life?
In the movie.
Okay. Well, like every action hero's wife and kid were murdered.
Or he was taken as a slave and forced to fight.
3, 2.
Oh my God, I don't know.
Gladiator.
Oh! Duh.
Okay.
Okay.
One and one.
Wait a minute. I recognize those luscious lips anywhere. Is that Brad Pitt? No. Oh, Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks. I was kidding about the luscious lips. Tom Hanks, man. Yeah, that's from Castaway, right?
1 and 2. You might not be earning this prize.
I'm not good at the beard game, man. Yeah.
Something gives it away.
Jackie, keep the score.
There was something else that gave it away. I made her cover it up.
Wait a minute. Is this McGregor?
It is.
This is
Conor
McGregor. Okay. Yeah, but wait, what gives it away?
Cauliflower ear.
Oh, I didn't even see the ear.
We had his neck showing. He has a neck tattoo. But
Okay.
So I made her chop his neck off.
Yeah. Oh, I should have looked at the ear. Duh. The ear totally gives it away. Yeah. Yeah. I actually recognize him by the beard. Who? Okay, because you can see the.
I told you the baby was going to give it away.
I don't know his name, but that's the Hangover dude. Yeah. Yeah.
Something like that.
This was a low. Like this was a lob. You guys just lobbed me this one. Yeah. Is that me? That's me, Chewbacca. Oh my goodness, that's fantastic. Oh, Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh,
Am I on fire?
you
What
are
is
on
going
fire.
on?
Yeah, you got 5.
Yeah. What you got? What you got? Wait, what is that?
I can't give any clues on this one.
You know this one?
I know it.
Because you went, okay.
This was a test your knowledge show.
Give me a hint. Give me a hint.
Anybody on Facebook?
My precious.
Oh, okay. So is it that wizard? I don't know his name.
You gotta say the name.
Oh, I don't know his name. Like the sorcerer wizard guy with the long beard.
Gandalf. Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. But wait, is that something in his mouth?
Pipe.
A pipe. Okay. What the hell's going on around here? kind of a show are you running here, London? Oh, Brad Pitt. No, I'm kidding. Mr. T. Yeah,
The
love
necklace,
that
I told
guy.
you I had to Photoshop the necklace off.
He's still alive, right?
She's really old though.
Dude, when I came to America, so in 1980, I was 6 years old, and I think it was just a couple years later, someone like turned me on to like Wonder Woman, The Knight Rider, and the A-Team. Yeah, and I would watch those 3 shows, and all of America was based on like Wonder Woman, The Knight Rider, and the A-Team. So I just thought like the whole country was full of like superheroes who kick ass. Yeah, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. Chewbacca?
Did anybody in the audience help you guess?
Actually, I opened up Facebook, but I didn't even. I didn't even go to the page.
Yes.
I was hoping it would just
is
pop up.
Chewbacca.
Yes, it is Chewbacca.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. That's not bad.
That is pretty good. That is
Yeah.
very deserving of this Dudoir calendar that you can put in your office. And every month you get a new Dudoir picture.
Oh, look at that. I mean, come on, right? I know everyone's jealous.
Cleavage one is my favorite personally.
There's a cleavage one?
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh my. All right. Yeah. I'll have to hang this.
See, he's got the
He's
beard
got
jewelry.
beard
That's
jewelry
where
on.
we found him.
Yeah, yeah. All right. This makes total sense. Good for this guy. You know what? I want to show my body, and I'm in much better shape than he is. Yeah.
One photo.
You gotta show the one where he's kind of doing the cutesy pose. Well, I guess they're all kind of cutesy poses.
Show it to yeah.
Awesome. Well, yes, you did
Thank
great at the
you.
beard game. You have great beard knowledge.
All right.
So now we're going to take some questions from the audience. The first question that we have is, can an introvert entrepreneur be successful? They say that their most difficult challenge is networking.
What's your take on that?
Well, I'm an introvert, and I think I'm successful, so I would say yes. And the most difficult challenge is networking. It takes me a little bit longer to get to meet people and meet them at a deeper level rather than just asking them a question or two or just shaking their hand and saying hi. But what I did is I just showed up to everything. I forced people to eventually I see you everywhere, and eventually come up to me and talk to me.
Brilliant.
That was my strategy and ended up paying off. As far as meeting and getting connected with you, that I got a little lucky with Jessica and Diana hitting it off the marathon, which helped speed that process up. But I did show up to everything from the first FPS to joining the Fit Body to going to the online summit to joining the mastermind. To every time you texting out saying you're going to be in San Diego, like, oh, I'm going to.
There is something.
Yep.
But there is something to being everywhere all the time if you want to get on someone's radar, right? I mean, it's just the reality of it. If
Just
you want to
keep
get on
showing up.
someone's radar, just show up. And today we have more ways of showing up than ever because that networking takes place on social media. Like, if someone wants to connect with you, I mean, how easy is it to then go on your fan page, on your personal page, and contribute to the conversation, on your Instagram page, contribute to the conversation. Before long, you see someone constantly adding value to what you're doing, any message you're putting out there, and soon you're going to be like, hey, you know what? If they actually send you a direct message, you're gonna reply. And but nothing beats the in-person showing up and doing it. And quite frankly, I think entrepreneurs have an advantage over, or introverts have an advantage as entrepreneurs, because as introverts, we are more likely to go into deep thought. We're thinkers. It's just scientifically proven that introverts are also deep thinkers, and it really does take the deep thought to go many layers in. How's this business going to look? What are the different levels of the business? How will I launch it? Who will help me launch it? So I think we have an advantage because I'm an introvert by nature.
I'm gonna say you're saying we. Most people wouldn't think that because you taught yourself to get on stage and to get on video and project yourself as an extrovert.
Yeah,
but,
I call it, I know I've told you this, but people who don't know, I call it, I just kind of tap into my Sasha Fierce. And that's, Beyonce's alter ego, right? When she goes on stage, she's Sasha Fierce and not Beyonce because, she comes from a very humble family. And so when I read that article that she just becomes Sasha Fierce and she could, walk all provocative and sexy and wear the lace and the lingerie, I'm like, you know what? If she could do that, I could certainly get up on stage wearing regular clothes and for an hour or two put on a hell of a show by tapping into my Sasha Fierce. So I think that we could. Yeah, the girls are doing a body roll right now, right behind the camera. It's amazing.
Awesome. Our second question is, how do you deal with business failure? When do you know if an idea or plan that didn't go well at all? Like, how do you know when to kill it when you've invested so much financially and emotionally?
Well, for me specifically, if I know that a business has failed, I first have to reframe that, and for the audience watching, that doesn't mean that you failed. Like for me, I could launch something tomorrow and it fails. I don't give a fuck. It's gone. It's moved on. I'm onto the thing that's working. And so you have to disassociate from the failure being you. You can't personalize that, right? But I know something's failed that if I'm selling it, it's selling, but it has a high refund rate. I know something has failed if I can't fix the refund rate, if it's got a lot of customer support issues that we can't overcome. So High Tech Trainer, to me, was financially successful. I was bringing on just as much people as we were losing. So it was constantly making 20 grand a month. But to me, the product was a failure because I couldn't find the right web developers and programmers to make it stick.
Yep.
And so to me, that was a failure. To me, Fitness Marketing Manifesto was a failure because even though we were making money from it, we were profitable, every time I had to write a 1,500 word article, and I remember, I told you the story, I was on an airplane thinking that I don't want this airplane to land yet because I'm writing this article. And anytime you're in a plane and you don't want it to land yet, even if you're sitting in first class, no one wants to be in a fucking plane, right? That's when you know that so failure comes in many ways. Maybe it doesn't get financial traction. Maybe it's not meant to be in your path right now. Maybe you're getting customers on board, but you're losing the same amount of customers at the same time, so it's just holding steady.
Or it's affecting your lifestyle negatively.
Yeah, it's affecting your lifestyle negatively, so you just have to cut your losses and move on. So that's kind of what I do, and I have no emotional attachment, and I don't personalize the failure on me.
Yeah, same here. And like one of the things that Conor McGregor said after losing, he said, which I totally agree with, is you either win or you learn. And that's the way I look at it. And some of the things that I've built and didn't go as planned, I don't necessarily consider them a failure. I just kind of put them on the back burner. If they come back around, then I know that this was a great idea. It just wasn't the right timing, didn't have the right people behind it, or whatever. So I don't necessarily, I learn from that and move on to the next thing, try to make better decisions. But I've had things that have come back around, come back to the forefront that have been successful, that have been sitting on, that had been sitting on the back burner for a while. Kind of like Fitness Marketer and our Fitness Marketer Lab. I had the idea for that for like 2 or 3 years. I even built out sales copy and web page. I just never did anything with it. And then after traffic and conversion, like 2.5 years ago, something like that, Josh came to me with the same exact idea. I was like, yeah, I already have the logo, I already have everything done, ready to go. So we launched our membership site together, and it was successful. So
nice.
I don't know if it was Churchill or who quoted that was said that success is going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm, and that's.
And think of how many lessons from our failed ideas and businesses and ventures that we've taken and used towards our successful businesses, ideas, and ventures, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's really how I grew my Fit Body Bootcamp. Because I started my Fit Body Bootcamp and then joined the Info Mastermind and started my soccer conditioning program. And after I launched it, I realized it's not what I wanted to do. But all the skills that I had learned for internet marketing, nobody was using those for brick and mortar at the time. Yep. So I took the same skills and went back and focused on my brick and mortar business with those new tools, and just my offline business skyrocketed to the point where other trainers were asking me how I was doing it, what I was doing, and that's how I actually got into helping trainers out, because I was using internet marketing tactics, like especially SEO back in the day.
I remember that.
For local businesses, like I used the same stuff I learned for my local one, and I literally had 9 out of 10 listings on Google for my boot camp. I had a blog, I had like my Facebook fan page, I had my actual website. People would call and ask for prices, hang up, they call again, and I'm like, I think you just called me back, and they're asking for prices, thinking I'm a different gym. That's funny. Because I had so many listings on there. But so definitely one thing that was a failure.
You just give them like a different price, and they're like, okay, I'll take it.
Yeah. But yeah, so I did take the skills that I learned from what people would consider a failure, even though it was making me money, just wasn't something I wanted to do on time, was able to apply it to a different business.
That's a great example.
And make more money. So, and again, I don't invest emotionally, From that first mastermind that we had going around, and Craig would be like, nope, it's not gonna work, and they would just keep trying to sell them and sell them. They were so emotionally attached to their ideas, and just knowing that no matter what they did wasn't gonna work, just to see how many people do get emotionally attached.
I think Stephen King has a really good saying, and he says this for writers, but really it applies to entrepreneurs and really anybody. He says, kill your darlings. Just because you're in love with the idea, if it doesn't work, just kill it and move on, Yeah, it's great. What about your favorite quote? What is your favorite quote that you live by?
So my favorite quote or motto that I live by, so one of my favorite books is from Scott Peck. It's called The Road Less Traveled. And the quote that I like the best in there is, until you value yourself, you won't value your time. And until you value your time, you won't do anything with it. So a lot of their worth, and they undersell themselves, and then they end up wasting time because they don't value their own time.
Touche. One of my favorite quotes, if I had to pick one, is how you do anything is how you do everything. And I forget who said that. Maybe it was T. Harv Eckert.
I thought you said that.
No, it wasn't me. It was T.
I thought you made that up.
No.
I give you credit for that all the time.
Dear Mr. T. Harv Eckert, I believe it was you, and if it was you, I give you full credit for that quote. But truly, I believe how you do anything is how you do everything. When I read that, I remember thinking, holy hell, that's absolutely true. And I remember at the time having like Starbucks cups, and this was probably like 10 years ago. I had like empty Starbucks cups sitting on the floor of my car, and just shit spread out in my car because 10 years ago I was driving around a lot more, and it was like a mobile office. And I remember looking around in my car thinking like, you know what, if someone looked into my car, they could pretty much know how my brain works and operates. And because it's almost identical. Everything was cluttered, there was just ideas every which way, and I couldn't make heads or tails out of my car, I couldn't make heads or tails out of my thoughts. And I started to deliberately commit to the idea of I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna have my bed made, I'm gonna have my clothes in order. Even now, like my t-shirts are like in color coordinated, because how you do anything is how you do everything. And I don't believe that it's accidental that all of my businesses grew, once I made that shift in my life.
So did you come up with it's not my 5%, or is that somebody else?
That was me. That was me. So if T. Harv Eckert, if you stole my 5% quote, T.
I would have been really disappointed and look at you totally differently if that wasn't the case. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
Everything's good in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. So our unicorn sighting for this week is Jeremy White.
Yes. There he
is
is.
Definitely a rare breed. He came to our very first IBC.
That's right.
Without even owning a gym. And just took it all in, built out the funnels, not even having a place to direct them to. And 14 months later, doing over, I think it was like $95,000 in EFT. So definitely a unicorn, and pretty amazing results from taking the information they learned before he even opened, and within 14 months, having over $1 million business.
Yeah. If there's one thing I could say about Jeremy here is the fact that he is an action taker like no one else. Everyone else wants to plan and prepare. He came, he got the information, and then he took action on it. And right when he opened up his gym, he joined the 7-Figure Formula Mastermind group. Within a year and a half, I think he was in the process of, does he have a second location now?
I think he's getting ready to open a second
he's
location.
Or
maybe it's already open.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a short period of time. And let me tell you that the second location is going to do just as well as the first one because he just takes information and applies it rather than
doesn't question it.
Yeah.
He doesn't say it's not going to work for me. He just does it exactly the way they tell him.
One of the things I like about this guy too is like at the masterminds or IBCs, I think he even came to the automation. Did he come to the automation?
I think so, yeah.
And he came to the automation boot camp that we did. He's just quiet, humble, under the radar. And then when you're like, hey, what kind of numbers are you doing? He just blows you away. And I love that about him because he just lets his business do the talking. Yeah, exactly. Cool. So, hey, speaking of IBC, so if people want to learn more about how they can get the IBC program handed to them basically in the video series instead of coming out to California with us, what do they need to do to get that?
Yeah, so we're putting it onto an online workshop. So we will have access to myself and Carlo once a week for Q&A, just to fill in any blanks that you're confused with. But we're putting step by step exactly how to set up each funnel, how to set up each ad. We have the whole back end of how to leverage and optimize the funnels all going to be in there, and you can go through at your own pace. If you want to get on the early bird notification list for that, because we are only taking 20 the first time just to make sure that it's solid and we can have the time to give to everybody to make sure that they're successful, just send me a message to my fan page with the keyword IBC, and that'll add you to that early bird notification list.
Very good. Yeah. All right, and I think we're done with this episode here. Well, thank you for joining us, everybody, and peace and hair grease.